Since I was a boy, I think I've always been obsessed with Batman. I think that was the cartoon that I started with. It's the character that I've probably spent the most time watching and following. And then LEGO, obviously in 2006, released their first LEGO Batman series, and I think that from there just started an interest in city building and obviously building models that are based around this beloved character. I realise now that I've been building Gotham for a couple of years, and really I haven't actually shown you the plan. I haven't done a video on the plan or anything actually to show you where we're sort of heading towards. I've just shown you pieces, and I was thinking that actually this it's been really tough trying to figure out how I want to fit all of the things that I want to get in to the city, how I was going to get them to work with each other. It was actually really tough. I worked on this over the Christmas break, I suppose. I had some ideas, but then I've sort of flushed it out a little bit more as we've been going. So Gotham is my forever project. I've seen a lot of stuff about forever Minecraft worlds lately, and I realised that this LEGO Gotham City mock is my forever LEGO project. I don't anticipate this changing. Yeah, so Gotham is going to be my forever LEGO project, I think. And I intend for other projects to go ahead as well. I intend to obviously build a Batcave. I mean, how could you not? I'm just kind of holding out, building the anticipation for myself before I start building that, and obviously running other different types of projects. I also have a lot of other different types of videos even sort of planned, but I think Gotham will sort of run in the background, if that makes sense. I'll just make videos every so often. Obviously it's taken 2 years, and we'll see in a minute how far I've actually come with it. So yeah, I do plan on this being sort of the rest of. So yeah, the space that I have at the moment is in the conservatory, which, you know, windows, UV light, Lego, not an ideal combination. However, that is just the space that I've got. I think it works out to roughly 60 base plates I have. 6 by 10 it is, so 6 deep and 10 wide. I've just done that based on measurements, not actually placed the base plates. You'll notice from this that there is actually 7 base plates deep, and that is because this front layer is going to be removable, is how I'm thinking, just to get that little bit of extra space. I think it'll all be removed. It'll be on a platform all at one height, at this water level that's there, and it'll just be able to be removed, tucked away. The base plates will be modular, so then you can just move that off, just to get that little bit more space. But I think this is the perfect size, if I'm honest, to fit in what I want to fit in. I know lots of LEGO cities go really big with their sort of layouts, and that's fine. I think I'd rather this size, which is a bit more medium scale. Most of the buildings, if not all of them, will be custom. And obviously building a larger scale city with custom buildings is going to be not only expensive as hell, but it will just take so much time. So I think this is actually quite a perfect size. Don't get me wrong, some of it is a bit weird, and we'll discuss the finer details of it in a minute. But it is a bit. I think that is the perfect size for me. If I'm totally honest, I think it'll work out really nice. So far, you will have seen I've done these 3 base plates. They've been done with an interior on the back. This is the space for the Iceberg Lounge, which is also complete. I've done a lot of road plates. Road plates are quite easy. The same as water plates. I'm trying to use sort of minimal amounts of road and water to fill up the space, just because there isn't that much. I know lots of other people use quite a lot of road plates and they want the roads to make more sense, which is fine. But for me, I think we're just going to have 2 main roads, and then these will just be one-way roads, if that makes sense, from around here down here, and these 2 as well. I think that makes the most sense. This is water. Like I say, there's an interior behind it. It's probably only just a bit more than half of the base plate that is actually water. And the same with this. If you've seen the Arkham video, which I can link, you'll see how much of that is actually water versus landscape, if that makes sense. So even that, I've kind of reduced it to quite a bit of just around the edges. So that, even that water is not sort of a true reflection. Obviously this is a lower level, and all of this will also be a lower level. I'll show you a 3D model in a bit. And then there'll be raised bits on top of these 2 platforms. So yeah, sorry, back to what we was actually discussing. So I've done this, and I'm in the process of working on these. I have got this building. This is going to be a customized version of the Palace Cinema, just because I think it's just a gorgeous building. And then obviously on the back side of that, between these 2 buildings along this line, will be Crime Alley, which you've probably already seen parts of, especially if you've seen the townhouse building I've been working on. It is a bit odd because JCPD is right there, so Bruce's parents are going to be murdered around here. Cops were right there the entire time. This is going to be a courthouse again. It's just the constraints of the size, but I think that will be better. This is going to be Ace Chemicals. I think it'll be more of a facade building, so it'll come out quite a bit, and hopefully it'll be nice looking. And that'll stretch over, and then on the underside of the canal, you'll see like pipe works coming through, so that'll be good. So that's another thing, is obviously with it being custom, these things can't move around quite as freely as in other people's cities, if that makes sense. It won't just be a case of swapping modulars, i.e. this Iceberg Lounge has been built to back onto the canal. Part of the canal connects with the Iceberg Lounge. I can't then just swap it with the townhouses, or not very easily. Similarly, Iceberg Lounge, the Ace Chemicals building will be on the top of the sort of underside of the canal. Again, it wouldn't make much sense if I put the courthouse here, or JCPD or something. So it can't move once these are being built in with the intention of staying where they are. Again, like I say, this is going to be my forever Lego project, I think. So over here we've got sort of an undefined plaza area with skyscrapers. Well, it's not very clear. Again, these will sort of be skyscrapers. I think this one I've intended to be the Gotham Merchant Bank, possibly, or one of these spaces. And then over here, obviously a Wayne Tower, and probably some other towers. This might back into a tunnel of sorts, if that makes sense. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Instead of just keep looking at an Excel spreadsheet, let's have a look at a 3D model. There we go. Look, oof, that's gorgeous. Look at that, color coded. Oof, just can't go wrong. So these front layers here, that didn't work, did it? This front layer will be on a separate plinth. This table will all be built. That's the idea there. So the white markings on the road means that I've already done those road plates. The orange means I have the road plates but not the base plates yet. And then I just need to buy a couple more. But this is ultimately the space we're looking at. And then that's how you, so that's how it will, the height will appear. So obviously Arkham will be in this bit. The island itself will stretch around there once it's done. Oh, it's getting me giddy. This is the canal. This is the underside with the tunnel. I think it's got a three-way tunnel. I haven't built it on here. This is just a mock-up. I don't quite know what I'm going to put in this side. I was thinking a subway stop, but that could change. This is going to be part of the Joker's Funland. I do intend on having like a dock on this side for like a crane or something like that, and this just be possibly a generic warehouse, and then I was thinking like a diner on the corner of this road. I'm not quite certain yet. Over here, so you can see, this will be the Monarch Theatre. This is the townhouses I've been working on, and then you can see this little raised bit. It's in grey as well, which is not ideal. This is sort of the space for Crime Alley. All these base plates here. So that'll be backing onto both of those. Like I say, this will be the courthouse. That's what I'm anticipating. This is for JC. This is what I've so far allocated to JCPD. Something on the corner. Again, it'll be a facade building because that's only 16 studs worth of depth over there. So it's quite possible that I would move this onto this back wall, maybe have 2 or 3 base plates here. Just make a more straight building. This firehouse, possibly, hopefully, merchant bank, and then yeah, all of this space dedicated to the Gotham Plaza, really. Then, like I say, Iceberg Lounge and Ace Chemicals. So that is ultimately what this is gonna look like. Like I say, it was quite difficult to actually plan it, but I think the minimal use of roads, the sort of reduced use of water, I think this will work. I'm not overly keen on the position of the courthouse, so maybe I can squeeze it in like diagonally up here or something. That might be a little bit nicer. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I think that would be cooler. Don't know what I would put here. The idea for the building, I'll put a picture on screen, is that it's kind of staggered. So obviously that's what lots of people use raised platforms for. I obviously am using a raised platform from the very beginning. And then obviously the Iceberg Lounge is a certain height. I'm hoping, well, they will be by the time I'm finished, that the townhouses will be taller than the Iceberg Lounge. This will be taller than, well, it should be a fairly open area anyway, but that'll be the similar height to the Monarch Theatre, will be a similar height to the townhouses. Then the firehouse, I'm hoping, will be taller than that still, and then obviously it'll be skyscrapers. So the cityscape will be staggered, which I think will be really nice. I think that's something that a lot of cities miss, is that while they do use the raised platforms to raise up parts of their landscape, I think sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit of the lower down detail, the front doors, to get that sort of cascading effect going back. Because obviously, the detail I put, this is the front side of the Iceberg Lounge. A lot of that won't be seen because you'll stand on this side of the city. That doesn't, and the lower parts of the townhouses again won't be seen quite as well. So yeah, I mean I think it'll be worth it. I think I'd like the idea is to have, well, let's just start that sentence again. The idea is to have all of these base plates be sort of a mock worthy set, if that makes sense. You know, I want all of them to be able to stand individually as their own separate MOC with their own levels of detail, and then come together in a very unique cityscape that you won't see anywhere else. I don't think, even if I had more space, I don't think I'd actually want to expand it. I think it's kind of nice to keep it small and refined, or relatively small. I'm very fortunate with the space that I have got. But to keep it more refined, I think it would benefit from just staying at this size, you know. I think it would be better for me to be more creative about how I would fit things in, rather than just adding more tables and adding modulars that sort of other people can get, and sets and stuff like that. You know, I think it would be better for me to be more creative, like I say, about moving the courthouse, even having it diagonally. I think that could work quite well, actually. So I'll be thinking about that, even just as we have been talking here. So yeah, that is I think that is really the bulk of what I wanted to discuss and show and look at with you. I think it will be, obviously there's the underside. Like I say, this is just a rough draft. Apologies, it's not to scale. Obviously the back cave isn't really going to fit anywhere in this. It will just have to be its own entirely separate sort of build, which I'm totally fine with. Obviously Arkham will be returning, and it will go and stay in that same place. It will still be a diagonal bridge. I'm quite excited for what I think I'm going to be able to accomplish with that on the second time round. The Iceberg Lounge I'm very happy with. I have no sort of... I'm sure I'll refine some of the details, and obviously I need to add an interior. The modular townhouses are nearing completion. I'm, again, pretty happy with that, although I did see a design come up recently that made me rethink my entire worldview around the townhouses. But at least for now, I'm quite happy with the way that's going. The Monarch Theatre is a work in progress. I've just about Mills played it by the time I'm making this video. I need to decide how much I want to change it or not change the plaza. And then skyscrapers, yeah, we're not... I have, I want to use up some of the window panes and stuff that I have, because the other projects I intend to build, I don't think will really require that. So that's another thing, is obviously I can't put down a sort of consistent layout until I can move out the pieces that are in the conservatory in some of the drawers. So I need to, but to do that, to remove those drawers, I need to use the pieces to make the builds. So it's just it is a bit of a process. This is the long game. This is the forever project, like I say. It will get there. And I think what's nice is if I move to a smaller space, this can still be sort of kept. I don't think I need to change anything. And in the meantime, the buildings are, you know, they do fit on a modular grid, so they can sort of be stored away. Hopefully they look quite pretty on a shelf, like pretty plastic. So that is really, I think that is going to be the ultimate Gotham City by the end of it. I do intend on making a very serious effort with building this. I have, I mean, at the time of recording this, I haven't uploaded for a while, but I've been working in the background on lots of things. So there's collections, I've been working on scripts for stuff. What else have I been working on? There's a lot of things I've been doing. So it really, you know, you really need to be subscribing. You know, just over here, subscribe here, and then follow me here. I know there's nothing on it yet, but that's just because I haven't done that yet. But there will be, by the time you see this video, there'll be something, God knows what, and obviously on here as well. So you can see, you know, this kind of will date the video in terms of when I've recorded this. But I am planning on making a serious effort to getting my my digital persona, I don't know, brand, I don't know, getting it all up and running. Planning a Lego City, really tough. Let me know if you want a tips or tricks video following this. Obviously this is just specifically for my video, for my city rather. So yeah, just let us know. And yeah, that's all really. Have a look at some of the other videos I made. Alrighty, I'll catch you later. Bye.